What's up guys, it's Angry Roleplay here, how are you doing today? And guess what guys, it's hammer time, it has arrived and we need to hammer down some shit today. So basically Hammerdin is one of the oldest builds in Diablo 2 when the paladin was there and it was smashing shit with the hammers. And when the Seeker of Light arrived in Season 4 as well, it was the top build ever in the leaderboards. It was quite powerful, and but since then some kind of people were underestimating the setup and they were not playing the Seeker of Light, although it's very strong, and it was kind of in the shades until I found the guy who cleared 96 on European leaderboards. 96 motherfucking ass. Seriously, it's just unbelievable, guys. Everyone was only playing Crusader, and then I found the guy who played 96 with the paragons and augments and shit by 96. Holy shit, guys! It's crazy high for this setup. And so I was impressed and created the Hammerdin build for this, but it's only a couple of weeks ago and a week ago when my flail has arrived from Seasons. I never found the fucking flail. Absolutely, I played since the dawn of times with Crusader, but I never found an ancient flail, even a shitty ones. Never, absolutely. So this I got it finally, and I can finally make the fucking build, and test it in all the details like I usually do. So let's start, guys, straight to the point. First of all, let's read the legendary power, guys. The 2-piece. Every use of blast hammer that hits an enemy reduces the cooldown of falling sword and provoke by 1 second. These skills, guys, it's quite important to remember. Basically, you can cast falling sword all the time, and provoke refreshes your ref all the time. You generate ref all the time with this skill, guys. So basically this is your rave generator. This 4-piece, you take 50% and less damage for 8 seconds after landing with falling sword, guys. So basically this is your damage reduction. You need to recast falling sword every 8 seconds. That's quite a pain in the ass, really. That's very painful. 8 seconds is, I think, that the shortest damage reduction in the game, and it's very frustrating to recast that shit over and over again. It's very frustrating. And the 6-piece just increases damage. The damage of Blast Hammer by 1250% and Falling Sword by 500%. But Falling Sword rune is so shitty. It is no damage at all, so we just disregard it completely. It's not important. Falling Sword is weak as fuck. It's absolutely useless in this game. Forget about Falling Sword, guys. We just use Falling Sword as a damage reduction. That's it. So, the gems, all diamonds, no exceptions here. It's very squishy setup. Rubies are very hard to use this. As for the gear, guys, you will see the setup on Diablo fans, and it's a maximum DPS setup to push the highest rank possible. Toughness of Crusader comes from high armor and massive recovery. So if you're not augmented, for example, like me, you will be lacking a massive amount of armor and so very squishy, guys. Don't you worry though, we can compensate it with Unity. And with the clear that you will see after this video, I actually played with Unity. And I only managed to survive with a fucking Unity, guys. Only managed to survive with Unity. It was the only solution for me to survive. Otherwise, it was very squishy. You need augments, you need armor to survive, to withstand and mitigate damage. Oh, it's very squishy setup. So, legendary gems, guys, legendary gems. Bane of the Stricken to stack our Stricken, and basically it stacks very fast, and the Rift Guardian is like your least problem in this game. The most problem comes from the mobs around and not the Rift Guardian. Rift Guardian is like a you know, a puppy that you beat the crap out of to the bloody pulp. Really, it's so easy to kill the Rift Guardian. So massive damage. Another gem is of course the Bane of the Trapped. You're always in the masses of enemies, slowing them down, and also you're immobilizing them and stunning them all the time. So this is how it works, guys. And Goku's Fitness is for extra dodge and for extra cooldown reduction, was quite important because the faster you, the more cooldown reduction you have, the faster you survive. You recast Prophet Rune and you recast Iron Skin. It's very important, guys. But you know, this is like an open slot here. Still, you can use as a teleportation, or if you're some crazy motherfucker, you can use, you know, a pain enhancer. But I will prefer esoteric alteration absolutely all the time. I think it's not a bad option to use esoteric alteration with the convention of the elements, with the DPS setup, with the obsidian ring of the zodiac here. It's not bad, I think, but with the ultimate maximum DPS setup, you will have to use the Goku Sweep, because it also increases attack speed and dodge. And it, you know, we attack at 5 attacks per second, and the higher break point give us around 10% more damage. This is a lot of damage, and basically Goku allows us to reach that higher damage break point, guys. So just let's look at the gear. First of all, a 6-piece Secret of Light set. As for the helm, I have strength, wit, and you should have critical hit chance. And in a perfect situation, you will need something like this for maximum damage. Critical hit chance and blast hammer damage. But you know, I'm fragile as shit. I like playing with more toughness, and I have strength, wit, and life per hit here. Shoulders should be like this: strength, wit, or rest, CDR. Gloves, strength, wit, hit, get damage, and chance like this. Chest, strength, wit, all life, and all rest. Doesn't matter, life is preferred here. Pants, strength, wit, all rest. Boots, strength, wit, all rest, and blast hammer damage. Blast hammer damage here absolutely must have. The Johannes argument basically doubles our attack speed and damage of blast hammer. You should have either life per hit here, or CDR, or maximum damage if possible, absolutely. You know, the top guy that cleared 96, he have damage, attack speed, and also cooldown reduction here. So basically rolled off strength to attack speed. This was fucking crazy, because 7% attack speed gives him more than the 100,000 of strength. But I prefer, you know, recovery. So this, anyway, that's the only one that I could ever have. So I have life per rep span here. It's pretty good. It gives me massive recovery, because we spend rep really fast, guys. Really fast, and I recover really fast with this. So maximum DPS and recovery if it's possible for you guys. The shield, strength, wit, all rest, and critical hit chance. You can also have cooldown reduction here, or the blast hammer damage is absolutely possible. Anything, cooldown reduction or blast hammer damage for an extra skill damage, it's not a problem. The rings is our endless walk set. Now nothing new here, guys. Maximum DPS compass rolls, maximum DPS travel splash with the holy skill, because we use the holy rune here. So I was lucky to get this one like 2 years ago, and I'm still using one. The roll is pretty low, but it's still not bad, guys, not bad. And the braces are these Gambriel's Van braces, introduced in the patch 2.4 with the set. Basically, when the blast hammer hits 3 or fewer enemies, it reduces a lot of his breath cost. And it helps against single target a lot. You have no problems killing single target with this build. That's what I personally enjoy, because most builds, they really struggle with single target. With the Rift Guardian, you're out of ref, like with the sweeper build or shield bash build or anything else. you're out of ref or you do pathetic amount of damage. But this build, you never ran out of ref with a single target, so it's very strong against Rift Guardian. And the roles should be like holy skill, strength, kick chance, or in life per hit, or this one like general strength bit. But I prefer life per hit here, guys. I prefer a ton of fucking recovery to survive. You will need this, guys. You will need these, guys. Like I said, the maximum DPS setup would be Convention of the Elements and Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac basically cools down everything for you, and you can recast the spells faster. And you will have also the Convention of the Elements with CDR. I have Ring of the Zodiac listed at the ring slot on Diablo fan because usually Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac rolls with three fixed rolls like this, guys, and it's much easier to have this ring here instead of Convention of the Elements with a good roll and CDR. So basically you will need to have like this and Convention of the Elements here in most situations, unless you have a GG Convention of the Elements like this one. And for the bell buys, there's the key item, basically the key item for this build. Sagar Harness. Judgment gains the effect of Debilitate Rune and is cast on your landing location when casting Falling Sword. So basically what happens, bam, this automatically casts Judgment and immobilizes enemy. You will cast me, why the fuck we need Immobilize and why the fuck we need the Sacred Harness? Why not use Witcher now, guys? We can, guys, because this Hammers Jammers, enemies take 400 increased damage from your blast hammers for 10 seconds after you hit them with blind, immobilize or stun. Now guess what? This belt gives us the immobilize, and this rune, part of the clouds, it gives us stun. So it's like double proc, guys. It doesn't give us double damage, but monsters, they develop immunity to stun, immobilize effects, blind, everything, all control crowd effects that you apply to them, basically. So having a double proc with the stun and immobilize is most effective way to proc Hammer Jammers and do massive amount of damage, guys, fucking massive. These things here, Hammer Jammers, they've been reworked from season 4, and we don't need Hexing Pants now, we just keep Hammers Jammers, and this will do massive amount of damage. We don't need to start a step and do that crazy shit that I personally hated every second of start a step and using Hexing Pants. It fucking was retarded, painful, complete junk. Now no start a stepping anymore, just Hammer Jammers here, and we need to proc them. So basically and also not only the bad cast Judgment, but as you can see, it gains the effect of Debilitate Rune. And guys, what is Debilitate? You may be forgot how good is this. Judgment Debilitate. Enemies in the Judge area deal 40% or less damage, deal reduced damage. That's a massive debuff. It's like, the Decaying Strength, a little weaker than Decaying Strength, but still very powerful debuff. That's why it allows us to survive better. Why Witching Hour is not an option, guys? Because we won't have Immobilize effect, we won't have debuff. Basically we'll just die and do no damage with the Witching Hour, unfortunately. That's how it works, guys. And here we have the Furnace. Absolutely must have shit here for an extra damage against elites. There's no better weapon slot than this, You can use a Addendum here, maybe, if you don't have the Furnace. You can use a Addendum. What the fuck is that here? We gain the Prophet Rune and the Embodiment of Power Rune, and here we can use the Hasteful Rune for the more extra speed, more crazy extra speed, and an extra 10% higher breakpoint buff. But you know what? The furnace is so much better. So if you don't have the furnace at the start of the season 8, for example, if you were playing the Hammerdin, use the Crusader in the cube and then just immediately switch to furnace for an extra elite damage, because elites are all the problem in this game. All the problem in this game, guys. So for the gear, I think that's it, guys. Let's move on to the skills. You know, one of the biggest problems of Hammerdin is its squishiness, unfortunately. It's very fragile, and playing without huge pool of armor, like I said, in augments can be a pain, especially in high grifts where even recovery doesn't help at times, really. At first I was wrecked in 75 to pieces because I just couldn't handle it, really. The mob just hit me through my HP pool, and I couldn't even recover fast enough to survive. So like I mentioned, Unity is your main priority in solo. Add Unity instead of conventional the elements. You should have like this Obsidian ring here and Unity here, guys. This will be your setup for solo. And it immediately doubles your damage reduction, immediately. And another way to improve your toughness and to improve your recovery, guys, is through the skills. We have massive amount of skills to use, and for example, the DPS setup will use the critical for more damage. That's what the guys used who cleared 96 and 92. The Asia cleared 92 with the Hammerdin in Season 7. They both used critical for extra damage. But you know, I'm a fucking pussy. I use Invincible because I don't like to die. You know, I use Invincible and it gives me 20k life per hit more. It's fucking crazy and I like it. So use Invincible if you are squishy. You can also use laws of Justice Decaying Strength for the massive debuff of mob, 60% debuff. And if you pair it with Debilitate of the Sacred Harness, it's 100% debuff. It's just retarded. So monsters will hit like this, something like this, guys. They will be like fucking Drankards not doing any damage. That's a massive debuffs, really. I really like this. I am a big fan in all of this skill, absolutely. And for example, in Provoke, we have too scared to run here, and we can use the cleans for an extra life on hit as well. And we basically give a huge amount of packs, and we can switch too scared to run to cleans and gain an extra life on hit. And instead of Iron Skin Flash, we can use, for example, Steel Skin to increase the duration of the damage we absorb even more for 7 seconds, guys, for 7 seconds. And oh, this setup here, these skills, the Blessed Hammer Limitless, this basically doubles the amount of Hermes we have on screen, doubles the amount of Hermes. This is the best rune after all, absolutely. Great skill, guys, great skill. Sorry. So, on the right button, Falling Sword, Part of the Clouds, you know? Part of the Clouds is the stun rune, and basically when you fall, you also stun enemies. It's like double proc, like I said, for the second harness. The Asian guy, he used Part of the Clouds, but the guy who played 96 in Europe, he had the Flurry rune, guys. It's also not bad, and it's also a holy rune, so it does a little more damage than the Part of the Clouds, cause we stack holy damage on us. And it's also hurting enemies around and incapacitating them for 5 seconds. Basically, it's a nice crowd control rune as well. Absolutely nice, great rune. So these two runes are really nice, but I for now I prefer an extra stun. I think an extra stun. Lozo Villa critical for DPS and other runes for a recovery invincible, like I said. Iron Skin Flash for an extra movement speed. we don't have steep charge here. You see, we're pretty slow, guys, really slow. So flash is our movement. When we get hit, we immediately, you know, move unhindered through the enemies. Provoke, too scared to run. Provoke is our old breath recovery in this build. We recover breath through the provoke. We refresh it really fast, and basically I just cast provoke non-stop all the time. Another good rune here is cleanse, and these ones, they're not as good. The cleanse and more life on hit, guys. You can have massive life on hit in us with all these runes. Accurate champion prophet, not a question here. Second life, guys. And let's move to the passives, guys. Finally, more strength, more mitigation, more armor, and more damage, not a question. Fervor, more attack speed, more cooldowns, not a question, guys, it's must have. Now, indestructible, I strongly recommend this skill, You see, the effect may occur once every 60 seconds. Basically, the rift runs for 15 minutes, and 15 times in this rift you will have second life and you become immune to damage. That's very important. And as we refresh all our skills and the accurate champion with the obsidian ring of the zodiac, basically, for example, you see you are on your indestructible proc, and then it starts refreshing, and then you proc accurate champion, and then your indestructible is ready again. So basically it's like they change each other, and it is possible to survive this way in the rift. So indestructible is like your prophet rune every 60 seconds. It's very important. I do not recommend switching off indestructible for anything. And the fourth is Holy Cause. The amount of damage dealt by your weapon is increased by 10%, and we heal up to 1% of our life when we deal holy damage. And guys, at 5 attacks per second, with all these buffs on, I calculated, I think we heal about 5 per second of our total life every second. 5% per second. There's a lot of healing. That's a lot of healing, guys. And also increases the damage by 10%. That's overall a good recovery skill, and one of the best runes to use with the holy skill, and his holy skill that Crusader will use. It's a very great recovery and damage rune. Now, what are the options for the passive skill? There's only two options, and I tried both actually. One first good rune is the Wrathful. Each point of Wrath span heals you for 130 life, and heal amount is increased by 1% of your health global bonus. For example, I have the health glow bonus here, and also and here as well, guys. So I have quite a bonus on me. So basically, if you don't have a lot of ref, like for example, I have a ref per a life per ref span here on my flail, but if you don't have it, you can use Wrathful and get an extra recovery instead of Holy Cost. So potentially that may be around the same, I think, but if you have a lot of health glow bonus, it might be better. Overall, I'm happy with Holy Cost, and I don't need this Wrathful, but it's one of these options that is decent. Another decent option is that when you don't need recovery, you can have Blunt here. Increases the damage of Blessed Hammer by 20%. Basically, this is in addition to the rolls, to the Blessed Hammer rolls. It adds 20 more skill damage to this. This gives around 8 to 10% more damage than the Holy Cause. So basically, if you need some damage and you think that you are really tough and you're really nice, you don't die, you just need damage, guys, you can switch Holy Cause to the Blunt here. It's not absolutely not bad. I did the runs with the Blunt, with the Holy Cause, with everything else, and it's all decent options, guys. All decent options. So basically, I want to also to talk a little about the general tips for the Hammerdin. First of all resistance is very important for Crusader. You need a ton of all res to be able to survive all the arcanes and stats like lightning shit and poison shit. It's very hard to survive. So you need all res. All res is very important for every Crusader. So, and then CDR, guys. I don't have much CDR here, but still CDR is very important because we have the more CDR we have, the faster we will have. The faster we can refresh our Akaras champion and everything else like the iron skin. It's very important, guys, very important. So for life recovery, life on hit on braces, life on hit of helm or on gloves, and life per breath spent on shield or a weapon. So basically many slots can have life per breath spent this and this. And on the braces, on the helm and all the gloves, and all the rings as well, on the compass rolls, we can have life per hit and basically get the recovery. That's very important. Recovery is a must-have, guys. Weapon is pretty much the highest DPS that you can find absolutely with CDR possible or life on hit. Like I said, high CDR is your second life with a permanent Akaras champion rune. Also, I like to mention, like I did before, that the build has high damage and toughness against single target. Basically, with all this recovery, you will be very, very tough against single target, but very squishy against multiple enemies. Very squishy. Now, the only pain in the ass is to cast Falling Sword every 8 seconds. That's really painful. And that's like the only disadvantage of this build. Again, with the squishiness, like I said, it's such a pain in the ass to cast this every 8 seconds, guys. And when you cast this, you see that the cooldown is pretty long. So basically the 2-piece bonus here, when we cast Blessed Hammer, it cools down Falling Sword. So not only when you cast Falling Sword you have to cast your Blessed Hammers, so that it cool down the Falling Sword again and not die when this expires. So that's like this cycle is important as well. This is it, guys. Also like to mention that all ref recovery comes from Provoke. Provoke cools down really fast, and when you spend all ref, you cast Provoke and you cast all ref again, you cast Provoke and you have all ref again. So it's like this. Also, stay on the Oculus ring of your follower all the time. Absolutely, watch this, guys. Watch this, guys. Overall, I will talk about it also a bit about the power of the set. How powerful is that? You know, guys, it's very powerful, but it's very squishy at the same time. The power, I would compare it to the 6-piece invokers. It's really powerful. I cleared 80 first attempt, and then I switched some skills, 80 second attempt, 80 third attempt. It was very easy. I just had Unity on me, and it's what's very easy with Unity, really nice. And basically with Invoker is about the same. I can feel it as powerful as Invoker. And basically the highest great relief cleared, it just proves my words. 92 in Asia with low paragon augments, 96 in Europe with the higher augments in much higher 2400k paragon. So basically this is about what the Invoker cleared. This build is more powerful than the Sweeper, a little more powerful than the Sweeper build, and also more powerful than the Legacy of Nightmares Blast Shield build. But it's weaker, a little weaker than the Arcane Invoker Melee Bomber. It's much more weaker than the Legacy of Nightmares Bombardment Mill. So yeah, it's somewhat in the middle around the 6-piece Invoker if we talk about the power. I will also list this build as the solo build, because unfortunately with 60%, with 50% damage reduction and nothing else, it's incredibly hard to survive in groups. I tried to do some group runs with the Hammerdin. It's so painful, guys. The damage is there, but I just can't survive absolutely. In solo we can use unity, but basically in groups we don't have unity, we have nothing. And for example in Invoker I have the 60% damage reduction from the belt and from the Justice Lantern and from the Achilles Cuirass. It's a lot of damage reduction, guys, a lot. Even I can't believe Bomber has 15% from the cards and 60% from the Achilles Cuirass. And here we have just 50% damage reduction all the time for everything. It's very hard to survive. It's very squishy, but it does some significant amount of damage. That's why it cleared such high grade sheriff basically. So this is it, guys. So I'm just in time, guys. The season 8 starts today, and now you know everything you need to know about the Hammerdin build and how it works and all the options that you need for this build, guys. So Hammerdin is fun, really fun. It's really one of the funniest and coolest and most engaging, you know, gameplay ever you can have for Crusader. You know, it's even as fun as the Lightning Sweeper in my opinion. It's very fun. I just enjoy playing it. It's so engaging, so much hammers on screen, so much fucking fun. So you guys, if you never played Hammerdin, Season 8, absolutely go Hammerdin. So much fun, guys, guaranteed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. See you soon.
I wish you luck, hero. Patience. Wait long enough.